These are the instructions for Workplace 4E, lowest remainder wins. Each pair of players needs a 4E, lowest remainder wins record sheet for each player, a clear spinner overlay, a die marked 0 through 5, and 2 dice marked 1 to 6. You're going to roll one of the dice to see who goes first, and then the first player will spin the spinner. So when they do that, they're choosing the divisor for both people. So I've already done that. I've already completed a game, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I did. So 3 is my divisor for both players. We recorded the 3 right here and right here. The next thing that happens is that player 1 is going to roll 3 dice. I'm going to zoom in here to tell you about player 1 first. So when player 1 rolled all 3 dice, they got a 0 and a couple of 3s. So they can rearrange those digits to make a 3-digit number of their choosing. But the goal is that they're going to make a number that, when divided by this divisor over here, they get as small of a remainder as possible. As a matter of fact, it'd be great if you got no remainder. So now player 1 had it really easy because they got a couple of 3s and a 0. They actually could arrange these in any order and it would still be divisible by 3. But I went ahead and made 330 as my dividend to go with this divisor. And then they want you to complete a ratio table. So the divisor that you've written here is going to go in this box to get your ratio table going. And then, as you can see, they already have a 10 here. So I had to think, okay, 1 times 10 is 10. So I have to multiply 3 times 10 to get 30. And then, because I was going for a number in the 300s, I went ahead and multiplied by 10 one more time. So 10 times 10 is 100, and 30 times 10 is 300. Now I'm right in where I'd like to be, because as I combine these two totals here, I can look at these two to get the number of groups. So I know that if I do a division problem with 330 divided by 3, my answer is going to be this right up here. It's going to be 110. And hopefully you've done enough ratio tables that you know how all of that works. So I'm not going to go into that any further. Right below that, you're going to go ahead and do the division problem. I went ahead and did it. I already knew the answer was going to be 110, but I went through the steps of doing short division anyway, just to make sure. And this turned out really well because I don't have a remainder at all, which means the score for this person would be 0. And that's a good thing because you want the lowest score possible at the end. For this player down here, when they did their roll of the 3 dice, they got 2 3s and a 2. They arranged them into this number. Remember, the goal is we want to have no remainder if possible, or if we do have a remainder, we want it to be the smallest one possible. And so we went through the steps again to fill out the ratio table, just like we did at the top. And then down underneath, we did the division problem, and we ended up with a remainder of 2. So this person's score would be 2 for this round. So you're going to continue to play more rounds, and at the end, each player is going to add up all the remainders that they had, and the person with the lowest sum wins the game. If you should find that a player has no remainder, remember that they score a 0 for that round. All right, and that is how you play. Lowest remainder wins.